xenophobic act in South Africa. One African country has already started raising red flags by warning that they will move on to close South African businesses in the country. That's Nigeria. Has started to talk about closing down South African businesses in Nigeria if the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians or Africans in South Africa do not stop. And you know that these businesses that are operating basically from the in Nigeria, and especially in most African countries that are South African owned, businesses like ShopRite, you can talk about MultiChoice, that's DSTV, and then MTN as well. So these are the businesses, and many more businesses that are based, that are, you know, South African based, but it's all over Africa. That Nigeria seems to send the first warning or the first caution that if it does not stop, you know, these businesses will be shut down. And the key fact basically is also that 5 Ghanaians so far have been killed in South Africa due to this xenophobic attack. And for the benefit of our viewers, I will be showing some pictures of this attack on the Africans in South Africa. And one of the key reasons basically is that the South Africans think that most Africans have come over to take over, come over to South Africa to take their rightful place of jobs, and therefore they need to leave South Africa immediately. I mean, this is not the first time such xenophobic attacks have been going on in South Africa. It's been, I think this is about the 3rd time that has been going on, but we'll talk about it and then we'll look a little bit more into the IMF support. Over last week, the IMF, the World Bank, having their spring meeting, and they've been talking about the Ghanaian situation, and some of the key things that they've been talking about is our ability to cut down budgetary deficits, and also the statement that came out during the week, last week, that Ghana is moving into the HIPIC zone by the end of 2015. So we'll be discussing the subject with my guest in the studio. Currently, I have with me Mr. Paul. He's an economist. That's Paul Frimpong, economist in the studio. Paul, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start off with the xenophobic attack that is going on in South Africa, which seems to be quite worrying. What's your opinion about the incidents and what is leading to the xenophobic attacks?
Good morning to your viewers. Yeah, I think it's rather unfortunate developments happening in Africa in this day and age in 2015. Most of it all happening in a country like South Africa. We all know the history of South Africa, post-apartheid, the struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, with the whole of Africa, because they had independence in 1994, which is not long ago, and we also saw the support from all countries across the continent, supporting them in terms of fighting against the apartheid regime, and subsequently, I mean, through Nelson Mandela, and how far they've come. And obviously, one will not expect a country like South Africa with the history, especially with countries in Africa, and especially those in the southern Africa, the Malawi, the Zimbabweans, and the rest, how these countries have integrated, I mean, to form one great bloc in sub-Saharan Africa. Because you look at the Southern African region and you see how the movement of people, because South Africa is that strong economically, see that most countries, most people living in these countries around South Africa are more integrated into the South African system, and most importantly, they are the ones which help to actually build the South African economy. So it's rather unfortunate that we've seen this incident happening, and I will quickly say that I think this is a broader, I mean, case in the labor, I mean, regime, I mean, around the world, and this is where we talk about immigration, migrant and immigrant. I mean, depending on how long you are staying in a particular country, because if you are staying long in a country, you are called immigrant, but if you are staying for a temporary, you call it migrant. I mean, whichever way that you want to look at it. And I think this is a development that happened, I mean, over the period. We're looking at even Europe. I mean, now we don't know what is happening even in the Mediterranean. now a lot of migrants are dying in the Mediterranean Sea trying to cross to Italy, through Morocco, some now going through Tunisia, Algeria, and Senegal, as far south as Senegal to enter Europe and what have you. Some entering Spain, and some of these people are dying, I mean, on boats. Some, I mean, uncounted deaths. I mean, actually something that you cannot even write anything about. And so that is the broader perspective, and some of these things, once the UK example that I came across was when during the 2006, when the Labour Party was still, I mean, in power, and then the Labour minister once said this migrant are a time bomb to the British economy, because they think that these people are coming to come and take over the jobs that are meant for the British themselves, because they, at that point, they saw a period where the number of migrants coming to Europe, I mean, coming to the UK itself was that huge, and that is causing unemployment in terms of among the British themselves actually rise. So they tried, and then they came out with, I mean, tight immigration regulation laws, whatever you, I mean, you can imagine slashing pace of, I mean, migrants 50%, working long hours, I mean, getting them the job that nobody would want to do. So these were issues that they were trying to actually, I mean, crumble the effect of some of these migrants on the economy. And I went ahead to what is happening in South Africa. I think it's rather unfortunate. There must be clear-cut policies. Of course, this is your economy. You know how you want to build yourself up. You want to involve majority of your citizenry in terms of the economic activities. And here is the case: South Africa is attracting most foreign companies, and some of these foreign companies, they bring along their international, I mean, workers. They bring expatriates from all over the world, and that is the hub that South Africa has developed into. So we have big multinational companies in South Africa who employ from across the world. So how do you want to blame some of these, I mean, practice system, because of the economy attracting some of these companies and bring the expatriates to come and work with them? Some obviously are going to be blacks. How do you blame some of these things on the people who are coming from outside your country? And also some of the work that most people go and do, obviously some Ghanaians, you know, the kind of work they go and do, some barbers, some dressmakers, some hairdressers, and what have you. Of course, this is an open job opportunity that everybody can grasp. Of course, if you have the skill, you can do proper hair. Of course, you can set up your own salon. So I don't see how some of these things can translate into this violence that we are seeing in South Africa. And it's rather unfortunate. I think they have to come up, if this is a policy that they want to issue to clamp down on some of these migration issues, they can come out. Of course, it's subject to international debate, because you sign on to international labor laws and what have you.
You know, I don't think it should be a policy to do that. But before we talk about policy, we'll go for you know, something. One of the members of parliament in South Africa, who is a strong advocate you know, had made very strong statement, and in the presence of the president of South Africa, and you know, Julia's statement are very strong in the sense that I want us to go back and take the video of the of Julia's statement, and then let's pick it from its proper context, and then let's look at Africa in general as to the governance structure, and then even how governance affect businesses and the people in terms of, you know, really the poverty that the Africans are facing. So we go take a short video of Julius Maliba's statement, and then when we come back, we'll go deep into the subject and discuss it.
Thanks very much, Deputy Speaker and the President of the Republic. Mr. President, Kaspedi bare pinyana ge re penge kwele pinye kholo. So the state, being the elder of the whole of society, becomes responsible for all the violence meted against our foreign nationals. It was through the state that our people were taught that resolution to differences should be through violence. It was under your leadership, that when you disagreed with people in Marikana, you killed them. Because you never believed in peaceful resolution of differences. When people had problems in Relela, you killed them. When people had problems in Mututlung demanding water, you killed them. When Tatane protested against this state, you killed him. When there were differences not so long ago in this parliament, you applied violence against the leadership of the EFF. When your friends marched to Lituli House, the DA, you responded by violence. When the structures of the EFF were emerging at the lower levels, you responded to that through your lower structures through violence. Mr. President, you taught our people that everything else must be resolved through violence. And therefore you must take full responsibility for having misled our nation that peaceful resolution does not exist and that those who do not listen, they must be whipped into line. You have lost control of the country because you have lost control of your own family. Your own son continues to say these people must be killed. You stand up here and you do not say anything. The King Zweletini has been misinterpreted as he says. We accept that explanation. But you do not take a platform to ask the king to call upon the people of KwaZulu-Natal and everywhere else, particularly those who could have misunderstood him, to refuse to engage in violent activities. I must never be misinterpreted to be saying the king is responsible for that. But that interpretation was misinterpreted by the media, and the people understood him to be saying that. How can you rule the country when you cannot rule over your own family? And your son is such a typical example of a family member that you cannot whip into line. We have a responsibility from these incidences of xenophobia to teach our people that peaceful resolution is a sustainable solution to every problem we have. Mr. President, you come here, you want to condemn violence against xenophobia. But the Cubans have taught us that body language speaks volume than prepared speech. You come with a prepared speech, your body doesn't suggest any other leader who's concerned about the killings in KwaZulu-Natal. But when you were defending the spending in Nkandla, your body language was very strong than when you were condemning the violent activities in Nkandla. Fellow South Africans, we need each other. Let us not kill each other. There is no country in Africa that can survive in isolation. Not even the USA can survive in isolation. We need each other, South Africans. Let us not kill fellow Africans.
Honorable
We are one
your
thing.
time has expired.
Africa is one. We must refuse the artificial borders imposed on us by colonizers, which have led to the division of Africa. Africa, we are one.
saw Julius Malema there in Parliament in South Africa talking about the xenophobic attack and the fact that South Africans need to condemn it. And then you know, he said this in the presence of the president of South Africa. And I have with me in the studio Abraham Zato. He's also an economist who has just joined us. So Abraham, let me ask you, Julius was bold enough to stand in front of the president to talk about the attacks on foreigners. But you should also understand that one of the things that I took from his statement, the great import basically, is the fact that if these xenophobic attacks do continue, South Africa could be in a crisis. One key reason I can relate to the subject is that South Africa seems to enjoy a lot of FDIs. I mean, if you look at it, South Africa receives over R500 billion of foreign investment on yearly basis, and that means that when we actually don't lock up or don't look into these attacks critically, South Africa is going to be the losing end. And I guess that's one of the key things, apart from the other related emotional attachment you can have to Julia's statement. It's very important to look at that.
Yes, it is. First of all, let me say good morning to our viewers and sincere apologies for my lateness. When you look at the situation in South Africa right now, it's worrying. Worrying in the sense that in terms of investment, nearly every investor will want a politically stable country to go in and do business, irrespective of what the reasons are, whether they are justified or not. No investor will want to move into a situation that is chaotic, that his investments will not have the optimal security and secure environment that he needs to operate in. And so coming from the politics aspect of leadership, it's very critical that the South African authorities take immediate action and to address the situation as it is. Moving forward from the issue of FDI, critical also is the fact that it reinforces a certain conundrum of failure across Africa, that African leaders and African economies are not doing so much more to reinforce and grow the domestic economy, particularly when you look at the fact that in most trade agreements you are beginning to have local industries fully exposed, okay, to international competition, recognizing that they don't have enough momentum to compete at that level and make gains. And if you also take a critical study at most African countries, including that of South Africa, it's relatively easier, not completely, for a foreigner to come and do business than it is for the same national to do the same business. Why do some of these trends exist in Africa? You come to our own homeland, Ghana, that a foreigner comes in and he operates a restaurant, and he operates a bus service, trotro, taxi, etc. And just because they have easy access to cheap financing, they are able to do it and do it on a bigger scale. At the end of the day, your locals are crowded out. The effect is, maybe now it may not happen. In future, once your own nationals are seeing the very things they could do to earn a decent livelihood are being taken over by foreigners. This is not to justify the xenophobic attacks in South Africa, but there's always a root to all this. It didn't start now. What we are seeing in South Africa started decades ago, when the South African economy was largely open to foreigners. And so look at MTN, look at a lot of the shopping malls in South Africa. How many of them are indigenous? A lot of them are not. And so for locals see themselves as not active participants in the economic growth and development efforts in their country. The result is that in future, once they begin to get high labor, and education, they begin to get quality, they begin to feel that they could have done better, they could have done more, then the result is if adequate security systems are not implemented to ensure that their grievances are channeled and addressed through legal ways, then they will result into ways like this. Look at an economy like Singapore, Malaysia, etc. In the past, there's no way you can go to Malaysia or Singapore and establish a business without a local national being the chief executive. It is not possible. If you want to do business here, these are the rules. But we don't have the same systems here. And are we trying to say that our own nationals cannot manage these things? If you want to be a chief executive of a company in these countries, you should have at least resided in that country minimum 10 to 15 years. Because they believe that you would have understood the culture, understood the fundamentals that are required, and moving and driving the economic growth efforts forward. If you don't understand that, it is preferred to them that they have a local. The idea also is that once citizens begin to see themselves at the top of national growth and development efforts, they begin to become more responsible to government, to themselves, and to family, and to society. That is critical. And that is what I think that we should all learn from the South African example as a continent, as a country, as businesses, and begin to develop the very fundamentals of our economy.
Basic fundamentals of our economy also comes with education.
That's right.
And I could see that one of the key things perhaps the South Africans are missing is to imbibe in them the spirit of education. That if you want to get there to that level, you need to have some level of education. And that, I mean, like you rightly said, it's not something that should only be seen as a South African problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's something even here in Ghana. How many people have, if we say we are going to have a business, let's say the oil and gas business that has come up, how many Ghanaians are technically, professionally, you know, educated to be able to take over, even if we tell the foreigners to go away?
You see, that's you are perfectly right on one side. On the other side, that's where the frustration is coming from, because Ghanaians, Africans have gone through all the levels of education. I mean, we have people who are highly qualified, who are doing very well abroad. They are doing very well, quote unquote, in the white man's country. They come home and they are not given the same opportunities to do the same thing. And so the frustration begins to build up there. Look, there are Ghanaians in this country and even abroad who have had critical skills over the years that this country needs, Africa needs, okay? And yet there seems to be no door opening for them in our own homeland. The doors seem to be opening for them abroad. And so when they come home, those who want to be patriotic come home and they want to do the same things that they think they can do. I recently listened to discussions when government was considering negotiating with some of these multinational companies. A few Ghanaians abroad offered to help the ministry because they've been working with the Bretton Woods institution for so long. They know the ins and outs of negotiations with them. And where did that end up? You see, and that is where the frustration, because education keeps rising, quality of education for the citizen keeps rising, people acquire skills that they definitely want space to leverage on. And once the spaces are not opened and created, definitely you would expect some level of reprisal to come into the economy.
There's this Francis Agbeka wants Africans to love themselves, but there's this statement that a professor at Wits School of Economics, Business and Sciences, Chris William Culligan, said that, and I just want to know if you relate with this statement that these xenophobic attacks means a halt to foreign direct investment, or but investing in South Africa or perhaps in Africa at all, at all costs, because when it happens like that, then it's like an Ebola attack on Africa.
Yeah, I definitely relate myself to that statement, because investors, as my colleague here said, actually looking for an environment which is very stable, that they can invest in, short of the security of their investment, that I can invest in this economy in the next 20-30 years. I'm still sure that my investment are safe. So that is one point. So obviously foreign direct investment, look at for all this environment aside your macro, whatever, they look at the political stability, which is very, very key. In a violence-stricken country like maybe Somalia or whatever, you can definitely know that the foreign direct investment coming to Ghana compared to going to Somalia will be higher. So Ghana will get more foreign direct investment than the money that will go to Somalia. So that is obviously an area that one cannot gloss over. But I want to still look at the broader perspective of some of these issues that are happening in Africa as a breaking, good governance, across the continent. One thing that I find very worrying is the fact that as Africans, these are 54 small, tiny countries, divided by lines, perceived lines that, in my own opinion, do not exist. Because you have a country like South Africa. Look at where Lesotho is in Southern Africa. The position of Lesotho. You realize that it's just a line, which in my own opinion is just a perceived line. In one way or the other, these are two in the same country. Okay, so my worry is why continuously we hold this line, this border so high, that it blocks our imagination of seeing the importance of some of these cross-cultural, businesses that we can do together, of this movement of people across the borders. How did this can bring about good economic development in our countries?
That's the reason for the xenophobic things.
Exactly.
You know, the South Africans think that the other African countries have come over there to take over their business.
Exactly. So,
and not only that, the South Africans have one key problem, which is that the Africans seems to be marrying their women as well, and that is also a thing that also worries them.
Yeah,
I mean, apart from the economic side, they also think that socially they have a problem with the Africans taking over their women.
I think let me give a typical example. I think a couple of years ago, a friend of mine, he's South African. He came here he was part of the team with the Rockefeller Foundation that came to train the AMA on the resilient cities, 100 resilient city issues. So he was part of the consultant, and I met him in his hotel. And one thing that he told me that is worrying him was the fact that most South Africans think they are not Africans. Okay, and then underlying these statements was the fact that there's high level of inferiority complex among the South Africans that they are grappling with, they're trying to deal with.
You should know they have a history from an apartheid regime where they were restricted, you know, from enjoying basic,
necessity.
Yes,
exactly. So that thing is still with them.
Of course,
okay?
It's going to be with them.
They are venting that on Africans because they think now we are still open, trying to find our ways around, and yet we've been taken over by foreign, and that's worrying. Now the message must be sent out there. Look at the resilient countries that we have, economies that we have across the world. What built the United States of America? Okay, what built Europe? Okay, in the 1945, after the Second World War, look at what happened to Europe. They were broken down. The fragmented Europe. They were so fragile. It goes to the point that was when Americans started a first foreign intervention. In a foreign country. That was the first time. Prior to 1945, there was a League of Nations. America never joined. But after 1945, they formed the United Nations. Okay, that was to show the level of the fact that now we need to share some of our sovereignty.